Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be doing an eye makeup look. I'm going to be doing just an all matte smoky eye that you could use for every day or any kind of big event that you want to go to. It's kind of one of those either ors. I love that about matte eyeshadows. You can wear them every single day and get away with it. Alright, so I have a couple different palettes that we're going to use today, but before we get into the palettes, let's fix these eyebrows. Okay. So here recently I've been doing kind of a combination of a gel and a powder. It's faster for an everyday type deal, but today I think I'm gonna go ahead and do just the same brow I've been doing and see how it works with more of a dramatic eye look. So I'm gonna be using two different brushes. The first brush I'm gonna use is from NYX. It's their double-ended eyebrow brush. It's got a spoolie on one end and then your actual brush on the other. So I'm going to take their eyebrow gel. It's waterproof and it is in the shade Brunette. I know I'm a redhead, however, because my hair is such a dark red, I can't seem to do like an auburn color. It's just too red for my hair. So here we go. Bugs, stop it. You guys, there's not a video that I make that Bugs does not interrupt. So I'm gonna have my trusty mirror here. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm gonna spoolie these babies out and here we go. I'm gonna take this brow gel by NYX and I'm going to use it on my eyebrows. All right, here we go. So what I'm gonna do with this, how I do like the two different products, mixing the gel and the powder, is what I do is I actually take and just draw the shape of my eyebrow with the gel. And then I fill in with the actual powder. All right, now for the other eye. So I always drag it down a little bit further than what I want my natural brow to go. It helps me to blend it out a little bit later. I know it looks a little crazy, but just go with me here. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is so that's the part that I use for the gel. And then what I'm going to do is take my powder. I use the cake powder from NYX. I use this in pretty much all of my videos. It looks like this. It is really nice and it blends really well for my eyeshadow. I'm actually going to be taking just a thicker, fluffier brush from Smashbox. It actually came in one of their palettes, but I'm sure you can find it in their line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix both of those colors in that cake powder duo, and I'm just going to start from the bottom and just kind of drag my way up. And then I'm going to start working on defining the upper part of my brow and the arch with this powder. Now, using a powder to do this, you definitely might have to go in with a concealer afterwards. My goal is to skip that step most days because I'm in a hurry, but occasionally, when I'm not lazy, I'll throw some concealer on there just to actually help define the brow, even if it's not messy. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start defining that brow. If you want to, you can also use a gel from like here to here and leave this to the brow cake powder, and it can kind of give you more of a gradient, and this is a more defined portion of your brow, but I just typically use the cake powder for both. So here we go. So I'm going to start blending out the other eyebrow as well. This also kind of helps you spread the gel around that's a little excessive from the bottom. Just kind of brush it up. So I'm going to continue to just add it to that front portion of my brow. And then continue to define the outer end of my brow. A lot of times I have to do a little bit of extra just because I have very patchy eyebrows. When it goes from like year to year, they're really patchy. We trying to grow them back in, but you know, a girl is trying her best. I really like how my eyebrows turn out when I do this technique. I feel like I get just a better line on the bottom when I use the gel powder first. When I use the gel first. It's not a rule of thumb, but it is how I like to do it. So I try to blend a little bit further with the cake powder than my natural brow actually goes. But you don't have to. I like to. Sometimes it looks silly, but sometimes you get it right. You know what I mean? We all have those days. Just make sure it's even. Eyebrows are twins, not sisters. Whoever started that rumor, Alright, so there are my brows. I'm going to go in with my favorite Brow Precise Southern girl coming on strong. The Fiber Volumizer on my brows just to lock them in place and also give them a little bit more definition. Alright, so there are my brows. Now on to the fun part, eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using a kind of a combination of different, I also have some Tarte palettes here that I might use. But we're just going to play around today and see what we like for our matte smoky eye. I am a sucker for smoky eyes. I pretty much do them every day in some capacity. So here we go. I'm going to start off with my go-to brush, the M433 brush from Morphe. It's really fluffy, but it's not super pointy, so you can kind of blend. So here's the palette that I'm using first. Let us go through the process of finding okay, I think I got it. Here we go. So I'm going to start off, I love these two colors right here. I think I'm going to start off with the lighter color first as a transition shade in my crease. So here we go. Yes, okay. This is amazing. So I'm going to also, while I'm doing this, I'm going to kind of start to drag it into the outer corner as well, but I'm also going to focus on my crease with this transition shade. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing with that same transition shade, and I'm just going to blend it into the outer corner as well as the crease. So I already love this look. Honestly, you could throw mascara on this and go. But we ain't gonna do that because I have a whole look to do. Yes, I hear you, bugs. Can I help you? Alright, so now that that is finished, I'm gonna go in with the darker shade and I'm gonna just deepen up this crease on the, kind of focusing really on the outer corner of my eye. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that other eye. And just deepen that outer corner. Alright, so now that those colors are in, I want to find like a taupey brown. So, I'm going to look. I think I found one on that one. I'm looking at all of my 50,000 palettes that I have up here. I don't know why I do this to myself. You know what? I think I found the one I want. So this is the 35K palette from Morphe, and I'm loving these taupey browns on the like two bottom rows. So yes, girl, we gonna do this thing. We're probably gonna use a different we're just gonna do what we want. All right, so now that my transition shade is in, I'm gonna change brushes and I'm gonna use this Morphe M441 brush. It's kind of a pointier brush with the same shape slash amount of fluffiness as the first one. It's just a little more pointy and it'll help me be a little more precise in the crease. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, all right, I'm gonna take, this is my, okay, so this is a 35T palette, it's a taupe palette. I'm gonna take this brown color right here at the bottom, and I'm gonna deepen my crease with that first, and then I'm gonna go in with a darker color from the 35T palette and darken it up a little bit. So, here we go. We are gonna just dab, 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 dab. Dust it off. All right, so I'm gonna just focus on this outer corner here in the crease. And working it in. The good thing about having so many different options is that I'm like, I'll never run out. So the good thing about using less product is that you can go in and blend it as much as you want. You can add darker colors as you go instead of just like putting a whole bunch of dark on there and then having to blend it out. So always think about buildability and blendability. Just start with a very little bit of shadow on your brush and then you can blend it and add more as you go. That way you don't have to kind of undo what you did, you add to it. So just take a little bit on your brush when you go to do this and it will help you blend it and not make a mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it to this other eye. So I'm gonna focus in on the outer corner and in the outer part of the crease. All right, so now that that shade is in, I'm gonna go back with this, the 35K palette, and I'm gonna take more of a taupey brown shade, probably this middle one right here, I'm thinking. So I'm gonna take this shade and I'm gonna use it to darken up, do the same thing I just did with the other shade, but this time I'm going to darken it. So here we go. All right, so I'm loving these color choices. Good job, Tina. All right, so like I said, just focus it on the outer corner. Don't worry about too much about the outer or the inner corner or your lid. We're just focusing on this right now. So just go ahead, blend it, blend it, blend it. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna add one more dark color. Don't hate me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in with this brown shade right here. It's a little bit darker than any of the shades we've used, and it's kind of taupey. So I'm just gonna use just a little bit of this. The darker you go, the less shadow you wanna use. So I'm just gonna really focus on putting it right here in the outer corner, not so much blending it up into the crease, because I like the colors that we've gotten in the crease so far. I'm just gonna darken this outer corner right here. This can be done in like more of a patting motion and kind of packing it in than moving it around and blending it. All right, so while I have a little bit left on the brush, I'm not gonna add any more product. I'm gonna drag that down on the corner of my eye. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that product, just a little, and I'm gonna drag it from the outer corner of my lower lash line. So once that is blended under the lower lash line, you can definitely build upon that, but for right now, we are going to blend the colors that we have on top with just a really fluffy, clean blending brush. This does not have any product on it. Just to get rid of these harsh lines, I'm just gonna take it and blend it. Now I want to show you guys the difference between an eye that is blended and an eye that is not. This already looks less harsh than this eye. It's nothing too drastic, but I'm telling you, blending out that line makes such a difference on the overall look. So we're gonna blend, blend, blend. Blend, 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 blend. Now that we've done that, I'm gonna take this really creamy pink shade right here from my Morphe palette. I'm gonna take a flat brush. This is one that I use. It's out of my Amazon. It's just out of my Amazon kit. It's just really thin and flat. So I'm gonna take that pink shade. It's kind of a blush color. That's the best way I know how to describe it. I'm gonna take it and I'm going to put it all over my lid just to really make it pop. I'm using a packing motion and really fast motion. You see how it kind of opened up your eye and it made your lid look bigger. So what I'm gonna do is I want to actually go in, because you can never, like, there's no proper way to do this. There's not step 1, 2, and 3. You kind of just build until you get the color that you want. So I actually want to deepen up my crease just a little bit more, but not with necessarily a dark color, but kind of more of that transition shade that we use in the beginning. So I'm going to use this palette here, and I'm going to take this darker shade of the transition shade that we used the first time, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of that into the outer corner and the crease. And occasionally you'll have to do that, because when you do blend it, blend the harsh lines, sometimes it can take some of the color off and you just need to add to it again. So I'm just using the same brush that I used to apply my transition shade, and I'm just going in and deepening the crease once more with that transition shade. And it's blending out nicely over the darker colors. I really like it. Okay, so now that we have done that, I'm going to add a highlight shade to my brow bone. I'm going to be using this white shade that is in the, I believe it's a 35K palette. I'm right, it's a 35K palette. I cheated, whatever. I can never remember which one is which. So I'm just gonna take this and just dab it on my brow bone. Not too much, because when it's white like this, sometimes it looks like you really did put like a highlighting shade. And the point of a highlighting shade is not to make it look like you put white right on your brow bone. It's to bring this out and make it pop a little bit. So not too much, but just enough. I'm also going to take and put it some in my inner corner. Not too much, but you get the point. All right. So I am going to do something a little different. I'm actually going to be using a flat brush, and instead of using a liquid eyeliner, I'm going to be doing just a black eyeshadow right on the edge of my lash line. So this can be tricky and it can get messy, but if you take your time and you don't try to overdo it or put too much product on your lid, then it can work out really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take, instead of using just a black shade, I'm going to take this really dark, it's almost like an eggplant purple, and what I'm going to do is just dab it in there. It's a very creamy pigmented shade, so bear with me. I'm just going to get a good bit of product on the brush, and I'm going to dab it in small motions across. Look at, you can already see the difference between just the definition here and here. So I'm gonna do, patience is key. Patience is key for this technique, because what you don't want to do is get super in a hurry and then you make a mess across your lid. So you can already tell the difference. Look at that. But what I love about it, it's so subtle. It's not a harsh line. It's not as dramatic as a liquid eyeliner, but it just gives you enough definition to make your eye look larger, and it makes your eyes pop, and it also makes your eyelashes look a lot longer because you don't have this line that's kind of covering up half of your lashes when you look at them straight on. It seems a little bit interesting to describe it that way, but you know what I mean. Alright, so let's do the other eye. So small motions is what's going to make this work. Alright, so once you've kind of got it to your desired color and shape, which I'm going to add a little bit more to the outer corner and kind of make, I'm also going to go under my lash line. And apply it. So now that that is finished, I'm going to apply my mascara. I'm not going to put any eyeliner on. I'm just going to go with a more natural but yet beautiful smoky eye. Alright, so I'm going to be using the Voluminous Lash Paradise in Mystic Black. I love this mascara. It's great for every day. You can blend it up to where it's like a super thick nighttime going out with your girl's mascara. But today, we're just going to do just a little coat. Look at how thick your eyelashes look with just the powder on your eyelid as an eyeliner. It makes your eyelashes look so thick and so long. Alright, so now that my mascara is done, that has completed the look for the eyes. Let's go ahead and put on some lip color because that's definitely going to finish out our look. So here we go. Okay, so for this look, I'm using the Lip Lingerie in the shade Corset. I really like this color. It's like a really nice natural nude. I think it goes great with smoky eyes. So here we go. Alright, so that completes our smoky eye look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, go ahead and like it, comment down below, and subscribe. Be sure to share on your Facebook, your Instagram, your social medias. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.